He is willing to cut a limb in order to save the body. He's willing to even sacrifice the titles of his children in order to clean the Windsor house, because enough is enough. And Harry and Meghan know it. They're absolutely panicking because there's nothing they can do. Quite reasonably, stripping Harry of his title might be the first step, and perhaps even stunningly, the thought of Charlotte and Louis's children not having titles either has been raised. Reports can now reveal that Prince William has, in the past fortnight, seized control of the British monarchy from a weak and dying King Charles, and that spells very bad news for Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Archie, and Lilibet. They say the crown never forgets, and right now, it's remembering every insult, every interview, every Netflix dig Harry and Meghan ever made. This isn't just a feud anymore, it's a reckoning. Beautiful people, isn't it something? Harry and Meghan panicking over Prince William's latest royal maneuver. There's panic in the clouds tonight. Somewhere over the ocean, a prince who once swore he'd never bow to the crown again is hurtling straight back toward it, sweating, pacing, probably refreshing his phone every 30 seconds, waiting for a message that will never come. Prince Harry isn't flying home for family, he's flying home for survival. There was once a time when no one believed a royal could be stripped of their title. But look what's happened over the last few weeks. And yes, it will impact Harry and Meghan. Reports say he boarded that jet in California in a frenzy, eyes red, jaw tight, barking orders to aides who couldn't fix what he's finally broken, his royal identity. The Duke of Sussex title that gave him weight, power, and purpose is dangling by a thread, and the scissors are in the firm, steady hands of his brother. For years, Prince Harry thought he'd outsmarted the monarchy. He pictured himself as the rebel who broke free, the one who escaped the system. But what he didn't realize was that the monarchy doesn't crumble when you walk away. It regenerates. It evolves. And while he was giving podcasts about healing, the palace was quietly healing without him. William, the brother he once mocked as trapped, the man Harry pitied, has now become the monarch in waiting, commanding more respect, stability, and quiet power than ever before. Every move he makes feels deliberate, almost surgical. He doesn't raise his voice, doesn't play to cameras, doesn't leak stories to Netflix producers. He just watches and waits. Because that's how kings are made, not born. The irony is exquisite. Harry, who couldn't wait to spill secrets, has spent the last few years turning his life into a soap opera. Meanwhile, William learned the oldest royal rule: silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Every tantrum Harry threw, every Oprah sob story, every staged photo in Montecito became William's PR campaign without him having to lift a finger. Now the tables have turned, and oh, how fast they've turned. Insiders whisper that senior courtiers no longer discuss Harry as a royal. He's now a former asset. That's Palace Code 4 dead to the firm. His seat at royal events, gone. His security privileges slashed. His voice in family matters, muted. The Sussex chapter isn't being reviewed, it's being erased. The palace is in rebranding mode. King Charles may still wear the crown, but William is clearly steering the ship. This new monarchy doesn't have time for sideshows or sob stories. They've gone corporate, efficient, polished, ruthless. Harry's emotional chaos doesn't fit the new image. But here's the ultimate twist, the one no tabloid headline can quite capture. The monarchy didn't need to destroy Harry. He destroyed himself. Every interview, every revelation, every truth bomb became proof that he was unstable, unreliable, and unfit to represent the crown he was born into. Now, the brother he once accused of cruelty sits in quiet victory, no revenge, no public humiliation, just calm authority, the kind that makes silence feel like a verdict. The power shift isn't coming, it's already happened. And the joke writes itself. While Harry was in California searching for inner peace, William found real power, the kind that doesn't trend on Twitter, but rules the kingdom in silence. The royal family has endured scandal before, but 2023 was the year the mask finally slipped. When Prince William was ordered to stand beside Prince Andrew at a public engagement, it wasn't just awkward, it was catastrophic. The image went viral within minutes. The future King of England standing next to a man whose name had become synonymous with disgrace. The backlash hit like a tidal wave. Newspapers screamed royal shame parade and why is Andrew still standing beside the future king? For a man like William, disciplined, image-conscious, and painfully aware of optics, that photo was a personal betrayal. Insiders whisper that was the breaking point, the moment William snapped. Behind closed doors, courtiers say he didn't shout or throw things. He went silent, the kind of silence that chills a room. Those who know him say his fury turns icy, not loud. And in that silence, William made a vow: no more dead weight, no more scandals, no more mercy. He started cleaning house quietly, methodically. The cleansing strategy, palace insiders call it, though it sounds more like something from a political coup than a royal memo. One by one, the liabilities were listed. And right next to Prince Andrew's name was Harry's. Because to William, the difference between the two wasn't scale, it was betrayal. Andrew's disgrace stained the monarchy's past. Harry's rebellion threatened its future. One was an embarrassment. The other was an act of war. Harry hadn't just walked away, he detonated bridges on his way out. Every tell-all, every Netflix sob story, every passive-aggressive jab in interviews was an arrow aimed straight at the institution William had sworn to protect. And William had had enough. He began treating the monarchy less like a family and more like a company under hostile takeover. The dead weight had to go, even if it meant cutting blood ties. His mission: to rebuild the crown into a brand too clean, too disciplined, and too ruthless to ever be mocked again. Harry was never going to see it coming. He thought royal loyalty was about family. William had learned the hard truth: it's about survival. And when survival's on the line, even a brother becomes expendable. It wasn't a scandal that destroyed Meghan, it was statistics. One morning, the British press dropped a survey that sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace. 47% of Britons said Meghan Markle was a bigger threat to the monarchy than Prince Andrew. Let that sink in. A duchess outranking a man tied to one of the darkest stains in royal history. Even palace aides were stunned. For years, Meghan had tried to paint herself as a misunderstood humanitarian, the outsider who shook the system. But the people had spoken, and they weren't buying it anymore. To them, she wasn't a victim, she was a brand. Behind the scenes, the heir to the throne had been building a quiet case, a campaign to streamline the monarchy, remove the noise, and rebuild trust with a weary public. But every time Meghan opened her mouth, trust evaporated. The Netflix docuseries, the Spotify rants, the endless interviews about finding freedom, they weren't healing wounds. They were reopening them for profit. The monarchy doesn't survive on pity. It survives on perception. And that poll handed William something priceless: a public mandate. He could now move against the Sussexes not out of anger, but out of duty. To the palace, Meghan had become a brand liability. A woman who wore compassion like couture but monetized every ounce of royal drama she could. The late Queen reportedly made her stance painfully clear: royal titles were not to be commercialized. They were symbols of duty, not brand identity. Yet here was Meghan turning the Duchess of Sussex into a product line. Every lipstick shade, every serum bottle, every influencer caption dripped with irony: royalty sold by the ounce. To William, it wasn't just bad taste. It was betrayal in packaging. For a man obsessed with protecting the monarchy's integrity, Meghan's glossy entrepreneurship wasn't harmless, it was humiliation disguised as empowerment. To him, every Instagram post felt like a slap across the royal crest. Meghan's not just selling beauty, she's selling proximity to the crown. Every sale, every hashtag ties her rebellion back to the system she claims to despise, the same system that gave her the title she refuses to let go of. William sees the pattern now. This isn't independence, it's exploitation. Meghan's entire brand is built on the ghost of a crown she swore she didn't want. So yes, William's done watching quietly. Her beauty empire isn't seen as progress. It's seen as treason in lipstick. And in the monarchy's world, betrayal doesn't get a press release, it gets erased. In the royal world, silence is never empty. It's a strategy, polished, sharpened, and deadly. When Buckingham Palace stops talking, someone's being erased. And this time, the silence is aimed squarely at the Sussexes. Harry's emergency trip should have dominated headlines, a prince returning home after years of exile to see his ailing father. But the palace stayed dead quiet. No statements, no cameras, no briefings. Just silence. And in the monarchy, silence is the sound of judgment. When the firm freezes you out, it means you're no longer part of the equation. You're no longer a player, you're a problem. And palace insiders say the chill surrounding Harry isn't just professional, it's personal. William's been steering this strategy from the shadows, replacing emotion with efficiency. Every public omission, every digital deletion, every quiet erasure has been calculated. Mentions of the Sussexes are gone from official documents. Their photos, links, and updates on the royal website have been rewritten in past tense, the monarchy's version of a digital obituary. To outsiders, it looks like routine maintenance. To insiders, it's royal revenge. The palace isn't shouting, accusing, or correcting. It's ghosting, the most aristocratic form of annihilation there is. And the genius of it? The public barely notices. While Meghan poses under California sunlight, her royal presence is being erased pixel by pixel. Harry's titles may still exist, but they're hollow now. His Duke of Sussex tag no longer opens doors, it raises eyebrows. The palace is dismantling his relevance, brick by brick, without ever saying his name. Even William's silence speaks volumes. He no longer returns Harry's calls, no longer includes him in internal briefings, no longer shields him from consequence. He is prepared to remove a limb to preserve the whole. He is even ready to give up his children's titles to clear the Windsor residence because enough is enough. Harry and Meghan are aware, they are in sheer panic because there is nothing they can do. Stripping Harry of his title could logically be the initial move, and astonishingly, discussions have even surfaced regarding Charlotte and Louis's children possibly lacking titles as well. Recent reports indicate that Prince William has, within the past 2 weeks, taken charge of the British monarchy from a frail and ailing King Charles, and this poses significant trouble for Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Archie, and Lilibet. It's said that the crown has a long memory, and at this moment, it recalls each slight, every interview, and every jab from Harry and Meghan's Netflix series. This situation has escalated beyond a mere family feud, it has turned into a moment of reckoning. Isn't it striking? Harry and Meghan's anxiety over Prince William's recent royal strategy. There's uncertainty in the air tonight. Somewhere across the sea, a prince who previously vowed never to submit to the crown again is racing back toward it, anxious, pacing nervously, likely checking his phone every 30 seconds, anticipating a call that will not come. Prince Harry is not returning home for family reasons, he is heading back out of necessity. At one time, it was widely believed no royal could lose their title. However, look at the developments of the past few weeks. Indeed, it will affect Harry and Meghan. Sources indicate he boarded that plane in California in a state of distress, eyes puffy, jaw clenched, issuing commands to aides who couldn't mend what he has now shattered, his status as a royal. The title of Duke of Sussex that provided him with significance, influence, and a sense of direction is now precariously close to being lost, and the decision lies firmly within the capable hands of his brother. For many years, Prince Harry believed he had outmaneuvered the monarchy. He envisioned himself as the maverick who successfully broke free, the one who evaded the system. What he failed to understand was that the monarchy does not disintegrate when one walks away. It reinvents itself. It adapts. While he was discussing healing on podcasts, the palace was silently healing in his absence. William, the sibling he once derided as ensnared, the man Harry once felt sympathy for, has emerged as the heir apparent, earning more respect, stability, and quiet authority than ever. Every action he takes seems intentional, nearly surgical. He doesn't raise his voice, doesn't play to the media, and doesn't leak information to Netflix filmmakers. He simply observes and waits. This is the way kings are forged, not born. The irony is delicious. Harry, who rushed to disclose secrets, has spent the previous years turning his life into a dramatic saga. Meanwhile, William grasped the age-old royal principle: silence isn't a sign of weakness, it's a calculated move. Every outburst from Harry, every tearful story shared with Oprah, every posed image in Montecito has transformed into William's publicity strategy without him needing to exert any effort at all. Now the dynamics have shifted, and oh, how swiftly they have changed. Insiders are hinting that high-ranking courtiers no longer refer to Harry in terms of royalty. He is now considered a former asset. That's palace terminology for ostracized by the institution. His presence at royal functions eliminated. His security access drastically reduced. His influence in familial discussions silenced. The Sussex narrative is not being evaluated, it's being wiped away. The palace is undergoing a transformation. Though King Charles still holds the throne, it is evident that William is taking charge. This modern monarchy is not interested in distractions or sad tales. They have adopted a corporate approach, effective, refined, and merciless. Harry's emotional turmoil does not align with the new image. However, here lies the poignant irony, one that no gossip magazine can fully convey: the monarchy did not have to ruin Harry. He brought about his own downfall. Each interview, every disclosure, and each truth bomb added to the evidence that he was unstable, untrustworthy, and unqualified to represent the royal legacy he was born into. Now, the sibling he once accused of being harsh stands triumphantly in quiet victory. No retaliation, no public disgrace, only a serene authority, the type that makes silence feel definitive. The shift in power is not approaching, it has already occurred. And the irony is apparent. While Harry was in California seeking tranquility, William discovered true power, the kind that doesn't dominate social media but governs the realm silently. The royal family has weathered controversies previously, but 2023 marked the time when the facade finally fell away. When Prince William was compelled to join Prince Andrew at a public event, it was more than just uncomfortable, it was disastrous. The photo circulated widely in moments, the future King of England next to a man whose reputation had become one of shame. The reaction struck like a flood. Newspapers shouted royal shame parade and why is Andrew still next to the future king? For someone like William, disciplined, conscious of appearance, and acutely aware of public perception, that image felt like a personal betrayal. Insider accounts suggest that was the breaking point, the instant William reached his limit. Behind the scenes, courtiers describe how he didn't yell or break things. He fell silent, the kind of quiet that can freeze a room. Those who know him indicate that his anger becomes cold, rather than loud. And in that stillness, William made a promise: no more burdens, no more scandals, no more leniency. He began to discreetly and systematically purge the ranks. The cleansing strategy, as palace insiders refer to it, though it resembles terminology from a political overthrow more than a royal directive. One by one, the liabilities were identified. And alongside Prince Andrew's name was Harry's. Because to William, the distinction between the two was not in magnitude, it was in treachery. Andrew's disgrace tarnished the monarchy's history. Harry's rebellion jeopardized its future. One was a source of shame. The other was an outright declaration of war. Harry did not merely leave, he destroyed relationships as he departed. Each exposé, every tearful Netflix documentary, all those indirect insults and conversations were weapons directed right at the establishment that William had pledged to safeguard. William reached his limit. He started viewing the monarchy more as a corporation facing a takeover than as a family. The unnecessary baggage needed to be eliminated, even if it required severing familial connections.